Far in the past couple of days, sound from Mike Rounds, Senator Langford, your fellow senator from Oklahoma, Ron Johnson, a big Trump supporter of Wisconsin, Cruz, Rand Paul, Senator Kennedy of Louisiana, sounding in a generous way skeptical, probably more fairly very skeptical of the Trump tariffs. Are Republicans getting squishy?
I don't know. Everybody's got their own opinion on this. I have a tendency to refer to the guy that has been a very successful businessman, one that understands tariffs and the retail market better than anybody, understands the stock market better than any elected official I know, be it in the White House or in the, or in the Senate. The man has been on this path since he ran in 2015. He's continuing the legacy that he started in 2017, and he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He's got, at some point, Leland, we have to right this ship. At some point, someone had to have a brave enough and confident enough about themselves to be able to step up and say we can't continue down this road of gaining huge trade deficits. We have to stop the bleeding, and President Trump is willing to do that. And I trust him and believe where he's headed with this.
Okay. I hate to correct you on facts. Donald Trump's been at this since the mid-1980s when he used to be on with Oprah, back when Oprah loved him. Well, he kept talking about trade deficits and tariffs back then.
I'm talking about since he's been in office.
Fair enough.
Yes,
fair
I'm talking about,
you said trade deficits.
He's been in office. Yes.
You also, the other issue that we're promised that this is going to fix, and the turmoil and the pain, the short-term pain, long-term gain, is the national debt. When Donald Trump came into office in 2017, national debt was $20 trillion. He promised it would be eliminated in 8 years. The national debt went up significantly during his last term, is now $36 trillion. If what he is proposing didn't work the first time, why should we believe it's going to work the second time?
Well, so are we talking about tax cuts? Are we talking about tariffs? Or are we talking about overall
we're talking about Trump's economic
economy was very strong. Yeah.
I'm not debating whether the economy is strong or not. I'm just saying what he said, $20 trillion of national debt was going to be eliminated in 8 years based on his economic policies. We're now here, 8 years later, we're at $36 trillion.
Well, but there was a 4-year gap with Biden in office with COVID
national debt
that they spent like a drunken sailor. Yes, and Biden's administration spent like a drunken sailor too. He's not talking about going to eliminate the national debt right now. What he's talking about is let's have a balanced budget, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. Now, can we do it this year? I don't think there's any way we can do it this year. Is it possible to do it in FY27? I believe it's possible, but it's going to be tough. It depends on what type of savings we can get, how much trimming of the fat we can get out of the government, how fast we can bring the economy back. When we have businesses right now that's already, we're close to $1 trillion of new investment in manufacturing that's already taken place so far since President Trump's been in office. When these jobs come online, these manufacturing products come online, and we have markets to sell to, because right now we're limited on markets. Everybody has access to our market, our economy, but we don't have access to theirs. You could see where we could start really having an impact and start paying down the deficit, but we're not going to be able to get it paid off. I would hope to get it paid off in my lifetime. I think it'll be difficult, but remember, we're only able to set a budget 2 years at a time.
This issue of timelines, I think, is really important because the American people have been willing to endure pain before. You think about World War II, for example, the revolution. Right. I mean, there have been times that as a country we've come together post 9/11. It's one of the great things about America. When you were on CNN, I was watching, you said that in 2 or 3 months, we're not going to be talking about the pain. We're going to be talking about the exploding jobs and the new Trump economy and everything else. Yet President Trump keeps saying that it's going to be 2 years to work through things. 2 years of disruptions. Which is it?
I don't think we're going to be anywhere in 2 years. It's going to be 2 years to actually see everything coming online, because that's how long it's going to take to get these manufacturers or these manufacturing facilities built and the people to work. What I was talking about is we're going to be talking about the new revolution that's going on, bringing in the golden age. When we start seeing the trade imbalance balance out, we're going to be talking about the jobs that are going to be announced coming to the United States. We're going to talk about the economy economies that are going to be, once again, the markets, the economies to different countries is going to be opened up, and the amount of people that's going to be wanting to do business inside the United States rather than leaving the United States to build a product to be sold back into the United States. That time has ended, and President Trump is one that's been bold enough to say enough's enough. If you want to sell your goods in Oklahoma, you want to sell your goods in New York, you want to sell your goods in California, then you need to manufacture them right here in the United States.
I'm glad you brought me to Oklahoma, because I think it's important to talk about this. Your own state government put out a memo called the Retirement Tsunami. 25% of the Oklahoma state workforce is eligible to retire within the next 5 years. 70% of Oklahomans feel anxious about having enough money for retirement. There is a lot of people who are in this window to retire who don't have 2 or 3 or 4 years to wait. They want to retire now. They've just seen their nest egg evaporate to the tune of 20% since Donald Trump and his economic policies have become clear. Is the advice to them to just keep working?
No, absolutely not. You're going to see a recovery. We see volatility in the markets all the time. So when you're talking about their retirement, you're talking about their investment in 401k. Historically, you see an average of an 8% gain year after year after year after year in the stock market. Right now, what you're seeing is a stock market reacting. They're reactionary. The stock market is reactionary. They have a hard time really planning for the future. They deal within today's future, not 10 years, not 2 years, not 4 years futures down the road. What we're talking about is if they're going to retire in 4 years, the market's going to fully recover and actually gain by that point. Well, even if they're going to retire in the year, if you still keep it invested, we know historically that you're going to have an average of an 8% return. We've seen that happen since the Great Depression.
We've said over and over again, nobody ever went broke betting on America. It took a lot longer than a year to recover during the Great Depression. But there's another point here, and I think this is an important one.
I said since the end of the Great Depression.
Yeah, there you go. I think there's an important point here, though, in terms of we elect a president, not a king. Congress gave away an enormous power when it came to tariffs in 1977. That basically allowed a president now to do anything with tariffs, to remake the world economy, as we've seen President Trump do with the stroke of a pen. International Emergency Economic Powers Act. That means a Democratic president in 2029 could declare 100% tariffs on oil because there's a national security threat of climate change, and a 200% tariff on any automobile that comes into the United States with an internal combustion engine, on and on and on. Do you not worry that this needs to be fixed?
Well, that's a hypothetical assumption that you're making, but it's fair to make the assumption, right?
It's not hypothetical at all.
It hasn't been abused since 19... Well, it is. Well, he didn't do this. What he's trying to get is reciprocal tariffs, and so he's saying if you want to charge us zero, we'll charge you zero, as long as we have the same access to your economy that you have to our economy. So reciprocal tariffs are much different than just putting blind tariffs on there. And so what you're talking about is someone just saying, hey, I don't like the oil and gas industry, I don't like combustible engines, so therefore I'm just going to tariff them to death. That's the hypothetical question that you're asking, Leland, but let's just play that role. Why did we do this in 1977? It's because Congress works slow. The economy works fast. It turns over much faster. People get frustrated with Congress because the slow pace that we work at. People want stuff done today. With tariffs, you got to be able to react to the market now. You can't sit there and wait. And the President of the United States has the ability to move with those tariffs if he has to. What we're very fortunate about right now is we don't have a career politician that's in there making the decisions in the White House. We have a very successful businessman named Donald J. Trump that knows the market better than any elected official you or I know.
Okay. In Trump we trust is what I've heard from a number of Republicans. It's good to see you, sir. Thank you.